Welcome in for those of you just joining us off the UCLA-USC game, and what a finish to that one we just saw here inside of Haas Pavilion. It's Cal and Stanford meeting for the back end of the Battle of the Bay series. Stanford with a 3-0 lead here. 6 minutes to go in the first.
What a comeback by UCLA. They win that game by 61-60, outscoring USC in the fourth quarter by 13. London Jones with 22 points.
Curry off the screen, back to Onya. This is the layup.
Couple nice looks in the paint. You just can't rush against Stanford. You want to hurry up and get that shot up, but you've got to just take your time and get a good one up. Jones. Nice double team. Great defense by Martin and McIntosh.
McIntosh able to shut down Haley Jones, and that's not something that's easy to do. However, when you get a turnover, you can't produce a turnover on the other end.
Taking it right back. Oh, turnover fest in the early going.
3 straight turnovers now in these last 3 possessions for both teams. 5 to go, and Stanford still with just 3 points, and Dallas, you have to get on the board. We do have another substitution. Elena Boscana now in the game for Stanford.
We're going to a bench early. Fran Believi on the floor.
Turnover festa has been 5 for Stanford, 3 for Cal here in the early going.
Yeah, the Cal has not been able to take advantage of the turnovers by Stanford. If they make mistakes, you've got to come and make them pay.
McIntosh has been on fire from deep, and she keeps the party going.
And a beautiful setup, the pass from Martin on that flare screen.
McIntosh shooting more than 48.5% from deep, really elevating her game from beyond the arc this season.
That's a great number.
Fran Believi with a strong take and gets the foul.
Fran Believi.
Believi, outstanding season high 14 points, 10 boards against Arizona. More first quarter action on the other side.
Everything is so different right now. I don't know that our team has any idea what it used to be like. You know, you can explain it to them, but they can't relate to it. And that's probably good, that all they know is, to a certain extent, you know, crowds, scholarships, you know, fans, things like that, television. But I think we did see a little bit of a tip of the iceberg last year at the Final Four when the disparity was so obvious. I think it was a little bit of a wake-up call for everyone, that we still have a long way to go to make sure that Title IX, in fact, reaches its full potential for women.
Tie ball game here inside of Haas Pavilion. Second-ranked Stanford playing at California, and a slow start here in the first quarter. Happy to have you with us here on Pac-12 Networks alongside Mary Murphy. I'm Kylan Mills, and it seemed like a turnover fest here in the first couple minutes. I mean, just back and forth. No one can just get into a rhythm, it seems like.
Yeah, Stanford's struggling. I mean, they're 1 of 5 from the floor. They've got 5 turnovers. They've scored 3 points in 4.5 minutes, 5.5 minutes. But this is a team that really knows how to explode. They've already played 8 people, but the key for Cal, if you want to upset number 2, you got to take advantage of those turnovers. You got to take advantage of those misses and put some points on the board.
Cal missed their first 6 straight shots from the floor. That's not the way they're going to take advantage of those turnovers like Mary mentioned. Fran Believi now at the line for Stanford. We mentioned before the break, just a really strong performance from her with a season-high 14 points, 10 boards against Arizona 1 week ago.
Just a dominant game from Fran off the bench.
Believi makes the second.
Looking forward to playing here. Of course, she had the great steal and the dunk a couple years back.
Scott and I were on that call, and that was pretty fun. McIntosh. Golden Bears would love to put together an upset here on their home floor. Well, they played so well against Arizona, eventually lost that game last weekend by just 7 points. So it's coming against a ranked opponent, and we have Claudia Longarita now in for the Golden Bears, chipping in 15 points in the ASU win, as Leilani McIntosh's shot will be blocked. I mean, the offense is usually aware of the shot clock, but Haley Jones aware as well. Know that that's kind of a prayer going up to the corner, so she gets the block. All-American. Saw some of the highlights in the open. Well, we did. Some of you that were watching the USC-UCLA game did not. They were very fun. Looking for McIntosh. She can't quite collect it in the shot clock violation. We'll turn it over for the card. Lopolo, the freshman guard, just up the road in Alameda. Prechtel fires from deep. No. Martin with the board. Oh, they had Lucia Shiphold inside, but they couldn't find her. Still, what a take by Longarita. Huge addition for the Golden Bears. Yeah, she's really special. Missed a bunch of games. Good to have her back. Just get her back in shape because she could score in a myriad of ways. That shot off iron for Lopolo, but the Card get the offensive board again. I mentioned boxing out, key for the key for the Golden Bears to shut down this Cardinal attack as Haley Jones gets the jumper to fall. Because 5 of their points have come off second chance opportunities. You just cannot allow Stanford to have another look at the bucket. A rare miss for McIntosh from beyond the arc. Lopolo from Alameda. And a jump from the corner. Jump starting your offense. Give it the jump. Jump getting the 3 parties started here inside a house pavilion for for Stanford. Today is her 22nd birthday. Another turnover for Cal. Beliebe comes up with it. In transition is Jones, and she's fouled. And in today's crowd, we do have a special guest. I'm sure you all recognize this guy, Steph Curry, who is officially here as a guest of Cal head coach Sharman Smith. However, we know he has close ties to the Brink family. Curry's father, Del Curry, played at Virginia Tech with Pam's dad, and their moms were roommates at Virginia Tech as well. So those two families with a long history, and Steph has essentially grown up with Cameron Brink, and those two have a really special relationship. And that's Steph's mom to camera left there, to Steph's right. Sonia Curry in the crowd as well for this Battle of the Bay matchup. McIntosh. Longarita just loses the handles. Jump in transition. From way downtown, Ashton Prechtel's shot won't fall. It's a great shot. She's outstanding in the trail 3. Looking for it. Prechtel, a 38% three-point shooter. Jump from the corner, no. Again, going up is Jones. Another O-board. I mean, how many second opportunities can they get in one possession? Well, the good news is Cal's doing a nice job in the first opportunity. I mean, they're defending. They're just not securing boards. Dimitri now checks into the game as Prechtel will retire to the bench. Dimitri, the 6'3 sophomore out of Foothill Ranch, California. Ooh, Jones in some traffic. Couldn't bring that one in. Her has already played 9 different people in this first quarter. This Stanford team. So deep. I know something you asked her. Is this the deepest team she's ever coached? And a nice simple ball for Jada Curry. So important for her to get going because others can play off of her. They've got great scorers in other positions like Martin, Longarita.
McIntosh.
There was so much more help this season. Cal with 4 players averaging in double figures. Last season, only Jada Curry in double figures.
Ortiz with that rebound. McIntosh.
Cal right back into this game, just a 2-point deficit.
Just a great example. Take what the defense gives you. You have to drive all the way in for the layup. Take the short jump shot.
28 to go, and Felipe gets one on the block. Beautiful pass.
That was pick and choose. They had Hilly Jones on the strong side and Fran Bellini on the weak side.
Shot clock and game clock almost in sync. 4 to go. Longarita from deep, and she hits it.
Crowd's fired up. Cal bands here in force.
A really good crowd here inside House Pavilion. Even though the students aren't in session right now, they're still on winter break. The fans are fired up as Cal is trailing by just 1 at the end of the first quarter. And Leilani McIntosh has just been huge in igniting this Cal offense. Claudia Longarita also a huge addition, making her impact felt off the bench. We'll have second quarter action in just a moment. We've got a ball game here inside of Haas Pavilion. Stanford leading Cal by a point. And we've got a special guest here in attendance, Steph Curry, in the building with close ties to the Brink family. Their parents, both friends, moms and dads at Virginia Tech. Del Curry and Greg Brink both played at Virginia Tech. And what a better mentor for Cameron Brink than Steph Curry.
Yeah, there's just no doubt about it. And for him to take a day off and come here, I didn't had a big game last night. He's still nursing that shoulder injury, the left shoulder. Hope to have it back soon. But Cam and Steph, it's a great story. And he's got 2 daughters, and Riley and Ryan. So it's just terrific that he supports girls basketball, women's basketball. It's outstanding. Thanks for coming, Steph.
Steph Curry, long been an advocate for women's sports and really has taken the time to try to mentor Cam, as we saw through all the photos, their past experiences together. We are back underway here, second quarter action. A tight ball game between Cal and Stanford. McIntosh and Longarita each with 5 to lead the way for the Golden Bears.
And that's on the floor now for Stanford.
Ortiz in the game for Cal from the corner, short for McIntosh. Jones going the other way. Jones pulls up. Dimitri stays in the game as well for Stanford.
Nice battle inside.
That's trying to go up, and she gets it.
Beautiful job of getting to the ball nice and high. Doesn't do too much with it. Keep it high. Watch your footwork and just put the ball in.
Gord Betts, the 6'7" freshman with 9 points when these two teams met just over 2 weeks ago. Really effective down on the block. As Leilani McIntosh gets a take to the bucket.
You got the bag all the way out on you. Put the ball on the floor and attack.
McIntosh now with 7 points on the game. 3 for 6 from the floor and 1 made 3.
And Betts are really going at it inside. What an adjustment.
Betts tries to get the turnaround to fall. It won't go. Cal moving around the horn. Foul on the floor.
Look at the mismatch. McIntosh right now, I'm going to just take it right at the big. Will reverse protect the ball from the block. That's an outstanding decision.
Then a jump gets called for her first. And Kemery Martin returns to action. Back on the floor now for the Golden Bears.
Yeah, they need scores.
Brink back in the game for Stanford.
Curry, McIntosh, Martin. Dynamic backcourt.
Coach Sharman Smith having a little conversation with the officials.
I'm talking to freshman point guard LaPolo. I understand that 300 family and friends from Alameda came over
I mean, you're on this side of the bay. You don't have to cross any bridges. And McIntosh. This is her pregame routine. The first player out on the floor, and this is just impressive, to say the least. She won that game of horse. That's awesome. And was rolling. Awesome that our Pac-12 crew caught that on camera, or I might not have believed it. Onya tries to get the jumper. Brink with the board. Dimitri, a great shooter out of Orange County. Great turnaround fadeaway. No. Onya the board. Nice look. Chitelli just can't get that finish.
But you can feel the rush, right? Like, oh, Brink must be coming. They're back in transition. And everything, once they get in the paint, there's a lot of hurry going on for Cal.
So far, not a lot of fast break points in this game, even though you do see both the teams trying to push the pace a little bit. Just 2 on the break for Stanford so far. Not one yet for Cal. Ortiz from beyond the arc, short. 1-point ball game, 7.5 to go in the second. Brink is able to collect. Dimitri, off iron. Tumble and a foul called as McIntosh tried to run down the rebound.
You better think twice before you want to go at LaPolo. She is solid, close to the ground, and you don't want to run into her. Shot goes up, and it's a mad dash, and you can see McIntosh is trying to take a swipe at it.
McIntosh called for her first foul. And what a story Talana LaPolo is. You look at all the recruits that were talked about coming in this year. She wasn't at the top of the list, but she's come in and made such a huge impact. So composed and so mature for a freshman running this offense. Every game I watch her, I'm just impressed by the way she carries herself.
Yeah, she's just strong and steady. Turnover there. Martine, the transfer from Utah. Nice pass inside.
McIntosh gets one of the ball. Cal has a lead here at Haas Pavilion.
Lucha Shiphold, nice job holding that position and getting the shot up.
Lucha Shiphold, another player who's a steady force for Cal. The senior averaging 10 points on the season as Brink gets one to the bucket.
And that basket by Lucha Shiphold motivating for Cameron Brink. Sprints down the floor, gets into position to give me the ball. It's one of her great qualities, just how competitive she is.
Brink with a great take, and that was her first basket on the game. Trying to post up Dimitri. Curry tries to go herself. She does draw the foul.
Did we get LaPolo with the foul on the block out?
Foul's called on LaPolo. Curry using the screen. It's going to challenge Brink.
And then you can see the box out.
One more time.
Oh, yeah.
Brink wanted that block, what she does so well. As she gets the rebound here for Stanford. Nice feed. Jones with what a find. Brink just couldn't quite get it up and in. Curry now, but Stanford did a good job getting back behind the ball.
The corner's trying to transition.
On the right side, denied Brink with a strong block.
Turn the lights out on that one.
Curry, it looks like, just took a shot to the face. Foul called.
And here's the block. The challenge. And you can just watch Brink wait, and on the release go get it.
Cameron Brink, second in the nation in blocks. Fourth in blocks per game. Also fifth in the Pac-12 in rebounds per game. Just a player who's so dominant down low and continues to get better. There's no collision.
And that's where your teammate has got to communicate. Brink is setting a screen, and you got to scream it.
Curry able to stay in the game. crowd trying to throw off Stanford with the incorrect shot clock. Fall down, and they get the offensive board. This time, Brink is denied. You don't see that happen too often. Sure don't. All bouncing. Stanford able to get another O-board.
I don't know the last time I saw Stanford 6 of 25 as we're well into the second quarter, shoot 24%, but they're still winning by 1. Cal not able to take advantage. Brink puts the ball on the floor, attacks a couple of Bears, and it looks like you give Martine the block.
Blanca Rita gets her first foul in the game. Brink sinks her first free throw.
Martine will tell her children about that one. I blocked Cameron Brink in the Battle of the Bay one time.
You don't see that happen too often. Now, for Cal, how do they try to prevent some of these second chance points? It seems like Stanford is just getting opportunity after opportunity.
Just be aware. Go get the ball.
Back to the basics. Be aware. Box out. Finder on the floor. The freshman. Lucha Shipholt from the free throw line just rattles out.
Everything about that was terrific, but you got to make open shots.
Cal getting the looks, just can't get those shots to fall and really take advantage. Pretty move by Jones, won't go either. Stanford able to get set. Curry with nowhere to go, pulls it out. Martine for 3.
She's so steady. You don't realize where she is, but if she's open and you get her the ball, she's going to make it pay. Great addition.
We're going to get Lucha Shipholt for the hold.
Brink and Lucha Shipholt have been going at it in the post.
Stanford now 1 for 10 in their last tries from the floor. We've got a tight ball game here inside of Haas. At Stanford, helping the Card to 3 Final Four appearances, 3 Pac-10 titles. And I love that she mentioned to us she tries to use that experience to help coach her players and try to explain to them, what does it take to get to that next level?
Yeah, she played 3 seasons at WNBA out of St. Louis, Missouri. Majored and got a degree in engineering from Stanford.
Haley Jones gets the turnaround look to get action back underway here. Haas Pavilion second quarter, and Cal would love to repeat that 2019 game and get a huge upset here. Stanford just really struggling, 23% from the floor.
That's very uncharacteristic of Stanford, but they're so good and they're so deep that they can shrug off bad quarters, bad halves, and then just blow you out in 10 minutes.
Brink with a little push from behind gets called on Onya.
It's a Cal team that is playing Cameron Brink as physical as we've seen anyone play her all year long. I mean, they are giving her an inch, feeling the contact, initiating the contact. It's just important for Cameron to just, maintain your composure, wait till you get the ball, and then go to work.
Onya retires to the bench after getting called for her second personal and fouling something Coach Smith said she really, really wants Onya to focus on when she can stay in the game. She's an impact player, but that requires her not getting in foul trouble.
Yeah, it's tough not to get into foul trouble when you're trying to guard Cameron Brink, an All-American with, she's got game.
She's got game and then some. Curry now looking to get this Cal offense going, trailing by 3. Maya Bonner, the freshman in the game for the Golden Bears, as well as Londa Rita. Lucha Shipholt looking in the corner. Martine, turnover after driving baseline.
Brink is like a wide receiver, and she's just getting thrashed down the play down the middle.
Elenoku trying to find Brink, it goes out of bounds.
She's just such a great defender. Missed a couple of games with an injury. Good to have her back. Brink always trails well.
Stanford keeps the ball. Elenoku looks for the pass.
Outstanding defense by Lucha Shipholt.
Lucha Shipholt's a player down low who's just so tough. She's a rock. We saw last time these two teams met. She took a hard foul. She's back in the game. It seems like she's just battling on the block. She's someone who gets up for this contest against someone like Cameron Brink.
She's playing with great energy and smart energy. Now she needs to get involved on the offensive end. Just 1 of 4 so far.
Schippo averaging 10 points on the season, but Cal would like to see more from her today. McIntosh, take to the basket, no. Good box out by Brink. However, McIntosh turns right back around and grabs that ball defensively. The reverse layup, it looked pretty, but it didn't fall.
2 great opportunities for Cal, and you come away with nothing.
Brink with the feed down low, puts it up and in.
And you can feel it. The momentum starting to shift towards Stanford. Brink getting some nice looks.
Cal's got to capitalize when they're able to get some of these turnovers and create good shots.
The key for Cal is movement. Great effective movement in the half court.
Lucha Schippo from outside. Rattles out. Jones, looking to go herself, draws the foul.
Yeah, that's a tough foul. But that's where Haley Jones just really excels. Look how the floor is just spread, because you've got great shooters in the corners. Trailing is Cameron Brink. So once she decides she's going, Lucha Schippo, you're just trying to get a spot. You can see where she just bodies up to her.
Lucha Schippo called for her second personal. She'll stay in the game. Jones sinks the first free throw.
The difference so far in this game really has been at the free throw line. Cal has not been there. Stanford 7 of 9. 6-point lead, plus 7 at the line.
Jones, a 76% free throw shooter. Stanford right now on an 8-0 run. Cal coach Sharman Smith going to call the timeout, trying to disrupt some of that rhythm and some of that shift in momentum we can feel here inside of Haas Pavilion.
Yeah, I think it's a great timeout. You need to get your team back really on the same page. You cannot allow Stanford. It's a slow build. It hasn't been an explosive one, but you know, you get it to 2, then they get it to 6, now they get it to 7, and you got to stop it. You got to come down, run a great set, get yourselves moving, not off the dribble, but just with movement, great screens, and see if you can get an open look. Martine, Curry, McIntosh, see if they can get a good look at the bucket.
Curry with just 2 points with just 2 minutes to go here in the first half, and she had 20 the last time these two teams met, and she's been the focal point of this Cal attack, but now she's got a lot more help.
And Curry with that big game at Stanford last year where she had 30.
Surely Stanford was determined not to let that happen again.
Highly motivated.
Curry remains on the bench for this next possession. Bonner, Longarita stay in the game.
Going to drag Brink outside.
Drag Brink outside and then get the drive. However, it won't fall for Martine. Dimitri fires from deep. It'll go up and out, and it's Cal basketball.
You should think back on the possessions that Cal's had in the paint. They've had some solid looks and just not been able to finish, or just hurrying and rushing just a little bit too much. Navarro in the game. Got the mismatch inside.
Foul on the floor.
And a heads-up play by Lucha Schippo. You recognize you got a freshman guard on you, and you just back it in, post it up, and let's take it and attack the little.
Navarro in the game now gets her first foul. Another substitution for Stanford. Brink will go to the bench. Very often back in the game.
12 different Stanford players have been on the floor in this first half.
Stanford this season has been led in scoring by 8 different players as Longarita gets a nice take.
Yeah, run a good set. Come hard to the ball. Get it there on a timely basis, and you're going to come away with 2 points. That's a big, big bucket.
Longarita now with 7. On the game, Martine
It's fun, and the crowd is going wild here at Haas. And this is what they didn't have a year ago. Martine just trailing, getting up there in that three-point range. She could knock them down with the best of them. Ivana Jones. Just under a minute to go here in the second quarter. Jones fires from the key, short. Martine was on the board. Yeah, nice second shot on that one. And the crowd getting involved. Crowd getting involved, the band in the stands. And Cal just 2 points behind their rivals. Less than 30 to go. About a 13-second shot clock differential. Down to 5. And just knocks it down. Cal was down 21 on the 23rd of December. A much better effort, and this crowd is responding. I'm not sure to see this Golden Bears team has come a long way. 2 to go. Jones tries to get the look just before the buzzer. It won't fall, and Haas Pavilion is loud. As we go into the halftime break with a tie scoreline. This Cal team not giving up and really sticking it to Stanford. Able to battle back and keep in this one despite an 8-0 Stanford run. Well, Stanford didn't shoot the ball well, and Cal really with a great push towards the end of this second quarter. You go into halftime with just tremendous energy. We have Stanford head coach Tara Vanderveer getting on the headset. Steph Curry in the audience, nodding his head as he has been able to watch just a really fun basketball game here inside of Haas. And we have Stanford head coach Tara Vanderveer now joining us. Thanks, Coach. We appreciate you joining us on the broadcast for our Zayo Connection. Coach, your team just really a tough first half shooting-wise. What do you do differently to try to get some of those looks to fall?
You know, I think I just have done a horrible job this first half, not really communicating to our team kind of how hard we have to play and what kind of shots we need to get, and credit Cal. But I think we'll come out with a great second half. I think Cam is doing really well. People are trying really hard. They're working really hard. We just have to give them a better plan.
Tari, what's job one? What do you talk about?
Take care of the basketball. Instead of turning it over, our passes are ridiculous. We just need to take care of the basketball, come down and get good shots, and play smarter. We're a lot better than what we showed in that first half.
Is there anyone else you'd like to see get more involved in the scoring?
No. Just take care of the ball and we'll get good shots. All right, thank you.
Tara, thanks so much. Appreciate the time. A tie ball game here inside of Haas Pavilion, and it's halftime here in Berkeley. After the break, Jordan Liggins Robinson and Angela Taylor with the Pac-12 halftime report. Stanford and Cal going toe-to-toe here in the second half of the Battle of the Bay series. It's a 26-26 scoreline. Be sure to stick around. The halftime report coming up next.
It is 26-26. That was a 3 to tie it by Martine. This is a really good one in Berkeley. Welcome to the halftime report, Angela Taylor. I'm Jordan Liggins Robinson. Angela, I did not have 8 for 31 from Stanford on my bingo card. What's going on there?
No, I didn't either. Not a lot of positives for the Stanford Cardinal team in the first half. They're +6 in offensive rebounds, and they're getting to the free throw line. Haley Jones and Cameron Brink continue to lead this team, but not a lot of other things happening in their favor. Tara's searching for answers. She's played 12 players on this deep roster, and she hasn't found any answers. Credit to Cal.
Yeah, and typically it's the others for Stanford that do show up for the Cardinal, but it seems like it's Cal that the other players, they only has 2 points. They're showing out for their team.
Well, Cal's performance right now is staked on the defensive end. Stanford is the #1 ranked team by per hoops stats in offensive efficiency. And they only have 26 points here at halftime. Cal is doing a fantastic job denying the ball in the paint. In that first quarter, early in the second quarter, Stanford was having difficulty getting the ball in the paint. And when they did, there was an immediate double or triple team. In the second half, Stanford is going to have to execute a little bit differently offensively. But Cal is getting answers from those others. There's a lot of players that are taking their time offensively, getting good shots, getting good looks, and they are in this to win this.
Yeah.
They don't care that Stanford is the number 2 ranked team in the country. This is a big rivalry across the Bay, and this would get them going. Sharma Smith is off to her best start at Cal, and for a 14-game start, so this would be a big win for them.
Coach Sharman has to be proud of how her team is playing. There is a top 20 matchup going on right now on ESPN2. We'll check in on the Ducks and the Cats after the break. Wow. We will break down that game and so much more on the halftime report. It's me and Angela. We're recapping the games, talking our moments of the day. There's a lot to talk about. Well, that's it for us at the halftime report. We'll send it back to Berkeley. See you after the game.
Welcome back inside of Haas Pavilion, where we have a tie ball game. California and Stanford going toe-to-toe. I don't know what's more impressive, the basketball we've watched or these Frisbee catches by that Boulder College. It's been a lot of fun here inside of Haas, and we're glad to have you along with us here on Pac-12 Networks alongside Mary Murphy. I'm Kyla Mills. Mary, have we seen a half where Stanford has shot as poorly as they did in this half here at Haas?
I don't think so, but Cal has played exceptional basketball, held a very high-scoring team to just 26 points. We've got a game, the number 2 team in the country. It's tied at half on the road at Cal.
Cal players stepping up. It has just been so impressive to watch. And we are joined now by Cal head coach Sharman Smith. It is time now for our Zayo Connection. Coach, thanks for being with us. A tie ball game, but your team still losing the battle on the glass. What do you do differently in this half to disrupt what Stanford's trying to do down low?
Yeah, I mean, they have the size advantage. They're really big. You know, we just got to really keep telling our posts to get the bigs out of there and have our guards come back and help. But, you know, I think we're fighting for the rebounds. It's just a tough task with this team.
Sharman, you guys were down 21 on the 23rd of December. You're tied here at home. What do you tell your team? Because you, more than anybody, knows how fast this thing can change.
Yeah, the first 5 minutes of the second half is crucial, right? We got to cut out and do the right things. No easy threes for a jump. You know, no Haley post-ups. We've got 5 people back in transition, not letting them get anything easy. We have to start well. And, I mean, you guys can tell I already lost my voice in the first 20 minutes. You know, we got 20 more. I asked him at halftime, you guys got 20 more in you? And they said, hell yeah. So I don't know if I can say that on the air, but we got 20 more minutes here.
Well, you did.
I did. Well, you just did, and we'll allow it. Coach Sharman Smith, thanks so much. Appreciate the time.
All right, thank you.
Well, for Stanford, it's been Cameron Brink and Haley Jones, the two who've been able to knock down a couple shots at least.
It feels like maybe they're not having their best game, but when you look at the numbers, they're not bad. Haley, All-American, doing what she does, 8.6 rebounds. And then Cameron Brink, 7 points, 8 rebounds. Hey, you got the advantage inside. Haley Jones knows what to do. Beautiful pass inside. The sellout trying to get the steal. Cameron Brink finished strong.
For Cal, I'll tell you what, we talked about it before the game. Claudia Longarita's game is pretty.
6'4", transfer from USF. She's from Spain. She shoots 66% from the floor. 7 points on 3 of 4 shooting. Beautiful flex cut here. Great timing on the pass from Martine. She missed 7 games. And the more practice and the more games, the better she's going to get. What an addition for California.
And Longarita coming off a 15-point performance against ASU. Another strong showing here as we take a look at the stats at halftime. A really slow start for Stanford, as I mentioned, just shooting 26% from the floor. Cal a little bit better, 35, but it seems like there's still some areas they could do a better job of exploiting.
No, there's no doubt. You look at the free throw numbers, it's going to be tough to draw contact with all that size inside. Sharman talked about that, but Cal, battling. They're in this ball game. We can't wait for the second half.
Second half going to be a lot of fun here inside of Haas, coming up on the other side of the break. Stanford, the lone undefeated team in Pac-12 conference play. As we take a look at the conference standings, UCLA able to hold on to that 3-1 record after just an absolutely impressive comeback earlier today against USC.
An amazing fourth quarter by UCLA. Washington State gets their first conference win of the season with Charlize Fletcher-Walker, who had gone back to New Zealand for a family emergency. She has 26-22 in the second half, doing what she does as Washington State finally wins a game. And this conference, I mean, we're just a couple games in and already just one undefeated team, and they're tied at half with Cal.
If there's any team that knows about that rivalry matchup, Utah just being dealt their first loss to Colorado the other day. We are back underway here. A travel called on the floor. It'll be Cal basketball. 5 Pac-12 teams ranked in the national standings. There's just so much parity and competitiveness in this conference of women's basketball.
Tough pass. Curry trying to find Lucha Shipple over the top. It goes out of bounds, but it'll stay with Cal. It's one of those passes where, as a passer, you're just kind of like, well, I hope it gets there, and it doesn't. You can't throw I hope passes against Stanford. Hannah jump just shows how improved she is defensively. Gets there early.
It's also hard to get that one, though, over the top of Cameron Brink, even if she's fronting with the Shipple. Very often with the block. Lucha Shipple stays with it and battles to go to the line.
Lucha Shipple is in the best shape of her life. She's slimmed down, she's solid as a rock, and just using it. Comes into Peanut, Cameron with a beautiful pass, get the block, but stay with it. And now you're in attack mode. You get to the line for the first time tonight, this afternoon.
Very often called for her second foul as Lucha Shipple sinks the first one, and the Golden Bears now have the lead. Lucha Shipple hits the second as well. A 56.5% free throw shooter.
Last time they had the lead, it was 5-4. So it's been a while.
Haley Jones tries to answer it, rolls out. However, the board batted away, and it'll stay with Stanford.
You know, Tutelli did just enough to steer Haley Jones kind of out of that sweet spot for the shot.
Brink on the inbounds.
Look how far out they pushed Brink.
Polo. Skip pass to Jones. Fires from 3 short. Dow comes up with the board. Martina ahead to Curry. Knocks down the triple.
You can see Haley Jones kind of going out there, but not strong because she's worried about her driving past her. Great shot and decision by Curry. Early out that goes to work.
And now we suddenly have the offenses going here in the second half. Iriafen getting the bucket for Stanford. Lucha Shipple on the block, denied by Brink. Out of bounds, Stanford basketball.
I mean, it looks like a nice pass because Lucha Shippole's open, but now she turns and faces it. Who's she face to face with? Cameron Brink, the block master.
I want to mention, with that last triple by Jada Curry, that now makes 37 consecutive games where she has made a 3. The streak continues for the impressive sophomore for Cal. That is the 3rd most of any player in the Pac-12 since the 1999-2000 season. Iriafen with a tough take. Tutelli goes down. Collides with Lucha Shipple, and they're both getting up slow.
Stanford bench is up. Iriafen has come out energized and in attack mode in the offensive game. The last time Stanford lost, you saw the graphic a little bit earlier, was at Colorado on the 17th of January 21.
Cal holding on to that 1-point lead. Tutelli fires from deep short. Jones under some really hard pressure from McIntosh.
And lets you pick it up just a step in from half court.
Jones defers to Lopolo now, running the offense. Brink shot won't go from deep. Lucha Shipple getting on the floor for another board. Martine just denied by Iriafen. She has come out with a vengeance in the second half.
She really has, and you think you're going to get by these bigs for Stanford, but their patience and to block without fouling. Martine in attack mode here. Iriafen, great body control. Wait till the ball leaves her hands and then say, forget about it.
Ball is kicked by Brink. Longarucha was trying to get that entry pass into the post.
With Longarucha, you have a big that you can help draw Brink away from the basket.
Inbounds to Curry. Curry tries to drive, and there's a foul on the floor.
They're going to get Lopolo. This smart move by Curry just to get into the body of Lopolo, draw the contact.
Lopolo called for her second. Ball stays with Cal.
Really often has 2 personals as well for Stanford.
Curry from the baseline just rattles out. However, turnover going right back the other way. Curry now back in possession. Onion down low for Cal, swatted away by Brink.
What a head fake. Swat, Brink time to get back in the paint.
Curry now will reset and run the offense. Shot clock down to 6. Longarita fires. No. Brink with the board.
And we're running.
Curry on jump. Stanford swinging around. Jones now baseline. Tries to get the take, but she'll get the foul.
Haley Jones, one of those gifted basketball players who always knows where she is on the floor. You can see her set this up, hard crossover. Look down, she doesn't have to look at the basket. She knows exactly where she is, and the foul. By Longarita, and you can see Martine saying, no.
Longarita called for her second. As Haley Jones sinks the first one from the charity strike.
Now busted out to that 31-26 lead, up 5, and Stanford has erased it.
Cal has missed their last 6 shots. And Stanford is now taking the lead with those 2 free throws from Jones. McIntosh on Brink. Onya working, pressing the travel for Stanford, called for the travel.
You can feel how stagnant that possession was for Cal. One person put it on the floor and everyone's just kind of watching inquisitively what's going to happen. You need people, bodies moving, setting screens when you're playing Stanford.
Fractal now in the game, the 6'5" senior out of Colorado Springs, ball in her hands. 38% three-point shooter, shooting 45% from the floor on the season. And there's another three-point shooter getting into the action. Steph Curry nodding his head from his courtside seat.
Just great patience. If it's there, she will take it. Vastly improved from 3.
Another shift in momentum. Stanford on a 9-0 run here inside the House Pavilion. They now have a 4-point lead.
And they've done it in 3.5 minutes. And that's what we talked to Sharman about. Like, she knows how fast it can happen. She only has 3 timeouts left. You can't use them all up.
Onya goes up. Shot won't fall. Fractal with time from deep. No. There's more teams now in the game for the Golden Bears. McIntosh goes up strong.
Boy, that little change of pace just brought her the foul.
McIntosh draws the foul and will go to the line. A couple more substitutions for both sides. What a run for Stanford. They suddenly grab the lead, and it's looking like the Card are taking over here in the third quarter. Stanford with a 4-point lead here at Haas Pavilion. More third quarter action is coming up in just a moment here on Pac-12. I talked about the connection between Steph Curry and Cameron Brink, but he's here today as a guest of head coach Sharman Smith for Cal. And last year he got to meet someone who shares his name, the other Curry in the building here today. Jada Curry also wears number 30, and it's kind of funny to me, their games are a little bit similar there.
Yeah, they're not related. What a great moment it was a year ago. The sensational freshman season from Jada Curry, not considered one of the top 100 recruits in the country, and very similar to Steph as well. Went to Davidson, wasn't highly recruited, and then took them, I think, to the Elite 8. Recent graduate from Davidson University. Is it Davidson College? College, yeah.
Davidson College, I believe. But yeah, a lot of similarities there between the two Currys, not related. as Mary mentioned, it's very cool to see the Warriors hosting Jada Curry at Chase Center at the practice facility and getting to make that connection with someone I assume she looks up to very much.
During that last stoppage, if you're Cal, you're now down 4, but it feels like a lot more because the momentum has shifted so quickly. You need to get right back at it.
Stanford with a 3-point lead, 4.5 to go. Jump shot won't fall, but it's Aminoku coming up with the board.
You need some dirty work. You just sign her right up.
Aminoku in time. She'll go inside, and she'll get the finish at the rim.
She's one of those players that can just find a way. And the bench for Stanford was definitely involved in this ballgame.
Aminoku gets her first basket, averaging 2.5 points per game on the season. Can Cal respond now? Jada Curry falls to the floor, and the shot falls as well.
But you see how decisive she was and just attacked Aminoku, who is an outstanding defender.
Curry just 2 points in the first half, now starting to come alive here in the third quarter. Cal with a 3-point deficit to Stanford. And it is loud here at Haas Pavilion.
Stanford folks are just kind of sitting there shocked, I think.
Jones just rolls out. Aminoku again comes up with the board, but is blocked. All goes out of bounds, and Cal will take that all day.
Rosemont Ortiz, great energy. Play it. Archbishop Mitty with Haley Jones.
McIntosh, Longarita, Lucha Shippo, Ortiz, and Curry in the game for Cal.
And what a take by Jada Curry.
Talk about her coming alive in the third quarter.
You talk about taking on the best. Just took it right at Cameron Brink.
Curry just plays with no fear. And another hard possession. Jump on the cut gets fouled.
And how often in conversation with Sharman Smith would she say, please do not allow Nana Jump to go back door for an easy bucket. You know it's coming. Here we go. It's the Jada Curry show. The hesitation freezes Brink as she takes a step away, and then the blow by. Right there, Jada Curry explaining why Nana Jump beat her back door.
Curry with her second personal. A quiet day, though, for Jump. I'd assume Coach Sharman Smith has to be a little bit happier with her team's defense on Jump. She had 17 points when these two teams met just over 2 weeks ago as she gets to the line.
Brink with the O-board and a quick 2.
Here we go, McIntosh now. We've got a party going here inside of Haas. 2-point ball game.
That'll do what we need to do, and that is respond.
Brink and Lucha Shipholtz going toe-to-toe, and it'll be a foul. Lucha Shipholtz, that'll be her third. Brink goes to the line, the third. Personal and Lucha Shipholtz. Got to watch that. 2.5 to go here in the third quarter.
And this is where Brink has really matured. In the past, maybe she would just kind of unload on that move because she just had been bodied up so much. Better job there of just keeping her self-control.
Brink, a 75% free throw shooter, sinks to second.
And she hasn't always been a great free throw shooter. This is a huge improvement from a year ago.
Brink getting to the line, 5 for 6 today. And McIntosh is coming up limping. Right ankle. Whistle is McIntosh, who's over by the bench. A little limp, a little jump from her. She was walking away from the bench like, don't even think about taking me out. McIntosh, another player you can just see so competitive, so fearless, so relentless. She never backs down from going up against bigger players. On the floor, and you can see where she just kind of rolled that ankle, put the foot down, and it just kind of rolled on her. And that does not feel good when it happens. Cal keeps possession. McIntosh stays in the game, and we have a foul.
And the Milpoon just gets all over her, and then just carry it through and attack, create the contact.
That'll be the first on Eminoku. Cal with the inbounds again. Again, Stanford plus 10 at the free throw line. Tutele tries to find Curry. Curry keeps it in play. Ball's flying around for Cal. Tutele fires from deep and gets it.
The transfer from Colorado, from Chico, says her parents, her family's been able to come together to just drive on down, and just what a wonderful year it has been for her just because of that.
Tutele, a 43% three-point shooter coming into the game as we have a scramble on the floor. Brink tries to go up.
Tremendous help rotation out of that scramble by Peanut.
With the Shipples, draws the foul, and Brink is not happy about that cross.
This is such a different Cal team from a year ago. Last year they played 2 games in the entire month of January. Swing it, Peanut. You can see Dimitri try to get out there, hold that, follow through, and love it.
Brink gets called for her second as Lucia Shippole goes to the line.
And she's just trying to focus and just get into her fundamentals, because she, for the season, not a good free throw shooter.
Lucia Shippole shooting just over 56.5% from the charity stripe. Sinks the first one, makes the second. Big players come up in big moments.
Well, that 9-0 run for Stanford seems about a day and a half away.
Cal now with the 1-point lead, and it is the 9th lead change we've seen here in Oz Pavilion. What a ball game. With a pass. Just over a minute to go in the third, and Cameron Brink answers.
That's just beautiful basketball. Bring it from the side, back up top, seal, get her the ball. Cameron Brink by way of Dimitri.
Under a minute to go, Stanford regains the lead with that bucket. Tutele gets the feed inside. Called for it over and back, but McIntosh thought that Haley Jones touched it.
Haley's like, I didn't touch it.
Of course he didn't, Haley. Of course he didn't.
Trying to kick it out.
Stanford gets the call, and they now get the possession with about a 15-second shot clock differential here in the third quarter.
Brink down up strong on Lucia Shippole.
Jones comes up with the board and somehow gets it to Hannah Jump, who sinks the triple.
Haley Jones is not all about pretty basketball. She gets on the floor, digs it out like she's playing rugby, tosses it back out to Hannah Jump for a birthday 3.
I don't know how she got that ball out. 5 to go. Curry throws up a prayer, and it just rattles out. Foul called with 0.7 to go here in the third quarter.
Haley Jones, we watch all the pretty things she does. The triple team, gets on the floor, kicks it out. That'd be the pass of the year from her knees to Hannah Jump, and the bench. It's like, amen on this Sunday.
That last play, McIntosh called for her second. And the time expires. Stanford didn't have quite enough time to get that one down the floor. What a game we are watching. 47-43, Stanford leads, and they are trying to hold on, but the Golden Bears will not give up. After a quiet first half for the Golden Bears leader, Jada Curry, she came alive with 7 points in that third quarter.
Yeah, knocked down a big 3 of 5 shooting. And she is the go-to, and just driving by an outstanding defender, attacking Cameron Brink. They get her just high enough, and Steph Curry says, oh yeah.
Steph Curry is at a treat in this game because it has been a lot of back and forth. Stanford holding the edge as we begin the fourth quarter, 47-43. However, this Golden Bears team, when they've gone down, they have not given up. They are just continuing to fight, and that's where you can see some of the the development of this Golden Bears team over the last few seasons. They've got more weapons, and you can see the mentality, the attitude really starting to change.
Well, they're not here to compete. They're here to win. And that's different.
That's something Coach Smith talked about after the Notre Dame game. They're playing against a ranked team on the national stage. So competing is not good enough. As Brink gets the block. Three won't fall for McIntosh.
You didn't see the double-handed block like it was Stanford Cowan volleyball here.
Dimitri in the game with great hard. Toe just barely kept that. Barely kept that from a traveler. We do have a kick. Cameron Martin now checking back into the game for the Golden Bears. Just 6 points.
Perfectly 3, 2, and 2. She's going to have to hit some shots. You got to take pressure off Curry.
Burkell just throwing the kitchen sink at Cameron Brink.
Pushing, shoving, doubling.
Chitele on Brink now. Jones gets some space. Her three won't fall. McIntosh pushing. Curry from 3 comes up short. McIntosh coming up with the O-board. Cal stays alive. Martin take to the basket. No problem for Cameron Martin.
Boy, she looks up and sees Cameron Brink and doesn't hesitate. Talk about confidence.
That's something Coach Smith says she's been trying to instill in her confidence. We want you to have the ball in your hands. We want you to take those shots. Cameron Martin now with 8 points on the game. Brink tries one from deep. Too strong. Ball bounces out of bounds, and that will go the other way.
Martin, ball swings. You can see everyone shift. And it's the sellout because you're worried about her three-point shooting. So everyone just flying out at her, opens up the drive, and the confidence to make the shot over Cameron Brink.
Cal now with a chance to tie this ball game back up. McIntosh, what a pass for Margarita. Her shot way off.
Beautiful job by Martin on that weak side to read the miss. Relocate.
Martin keeps the possession alive. 7 on the shot clock. Tough take for Martin. Stanford now getting out in transition. Way off is Eminoku's 3. Trap meet here has to go. Gets the bucket. Tie ball game.
It's been a long time since I've seen Haas Pavilion this excited.
That is the 5th tie score we've had in this game. This Cal team just relentless as Brink has the answer.
Just no back down in Cameron Brink. Just goes down to that low post and gets to work.
Cal looking to tie the game up again. Martin. Thinks about it. McIntosh. Can't be stopped.
It's a team that's playing with confidence and belief.
Lonnie McIntosh just elevating her game, outstanding the last time these two teams played, doing it once again for the Golden Bears.
They're trying to jump that 3. Eminoku, they're giving her that 3. They're just packing the house in on Cameron Brink.
Jones' jumper won't fall, and it's another chance for Cal to extend their lead. Tutele, too strong. A battle down low for the board. Jones comes up with it. Finds Eminoku, his shot doesn't go, and the crowd is on its feet.
McIntosh. The rip by Curry to push ahead, and here she comes. Just the hard fake away, takes some contact. 51% from 3. Gotta respect it.
McIntosh coming into this game with the best three-point percentage in the Pac-12. Really has elevated her game this season. We saw her, the first person in the gym before the game, taking those deep shots. And it's paid off for Leilani McIntosh. Cameron Brink's three won't go.
Yeah, I sat Mac down next to McIntosh during pregame, and she said, "What do you think?" I said, "It does not matter what I think. What do you think?" She said, "We're ready."
And you can see it, the sense of belief in this Cal team that they can win these big games. Margarita sets the screen for McIntosh. Ball just deflected out of bounds. Last off Brink. That'll stay with the Golden Bears. Cal with a chance to extend the lead to 3 or 4 on this possession.
Look at the graphic. They're looking to snap this 15-game losing streak against top teams. McIntosh with the fadeaway. The crowd helped that one. She didn't quite know what the shot clock was because she was on the side of the basket. When they started counting, she responded. That was fun. Double team. Greatness by Cameron Brink.
It seems like every time Cal gets on the board, Brink has an answer. She comes back down. You see that look in her eyes.
Brink, 11 second-half points.
Brink leading the way for the Card with 18 on the game. McIntosh draws the foul, swatted after the fact. Leilani McIntosh with 17 points, and she keeps going at the Stanford team. 52-51, Cal lead.
Meeting between these two teams when Cal pulled off an impressive upset, and there's the leader for the Card, Tara Vanderveer, hoping to prevent that from happening. However, Cal holding the 1-point lead. What do they do to close this game out?
Well, it's just going to be interesting to see who can execute the best. I mean, Stanford's lowest scoring game this year was a win at Hawaii. They scored 68 points. They are struggling to find points as they're sitting at 51, and Cal just coolly and calmly finally getting to the free throw line.
McIntosh shooting more than 71% from the charity stripe. Those will fall, and McIntosh really taking the reins for the Golden Bears.
Stanford, so much of what they do is shoot the three well. Today they've made 4. The fewest this season is 5. Can they heat up?
Starters back in the game for Cal. Dimitri in the game for Stanford as Brink cannot be stopped down low.
And look, when you've got an All-American as talented as Cameron Brink, get her the ball and let her do her thing.
Brink now with 20 points. Our team, Lucia Shipholt, 7 on the shot clock. Wow, makes it happen.
Tough pass, tough catch.
The Golden Bears lead now at 3. Stanford needs to respond here. Skip pass to Lopolo. Jump finds Brink. Go with what's working. Jumper won't fall for Brink this time.
One and done. That offensive rebounding spigot has been turned off completely by Cal.
McIntosh with 19 points. Martine comes around the screen. Shot clock at 5. Curry, the tough reverse won't go. Wanted the foul. Jones goes up. Brink the O-board. Brink the putback.
Vintage. The 2 All-Americans running down the floor together. Haley just kind of veers off to the right. You can see the reaction of Brink. She lines it up, basically boxes out Peanut and says, "This will be mine," in the finish, and you see the intensity of Cameron Brink.
Brink with a chance for a 3-point play, drawing the foul on Peanut Tutele, who's called for her first. And Brink converts on the free throw. We have a tie ball game once again. Just under 3 to go. Curry to Martine. Martine driving on jump, draws the foul.
Jump kind of reaches in. Team foul is just not an issue so far. Stanford just their second team foul. Cal has just 1. So you got fouls to give.
Both teams with a couple of fouls to give. Jump got called that time.
All right, what do you got now? Mismatch inside.
Shipple posting up, wanted that one, and goes up strong to draw the foul.
If a team switches big to little, recognize and take advantage. Cal does just that. Curry with the pass inside. Dimitri comes over, tries to help.
And that foul called on Cameron Brink will be her 3rd.
Just can't say enough about how improved Cal is. A year ago, they had 1 double-figure score. This year, they've got 4. They're 8 points better when you take scoring and defense into account. 5% better from the field.
Lucha Shipple has been a huge factor in that. However, as we talked about, free throw shooting just over 56.5%, an area where she can improve if she misses the first. Misses the second as well. Stanford gets lucky there. Just under 2.5 to go. Tie ball game. Rapolo, they gave her the 3. She took it, won't go. Cal gets the rebound.
4 of 20 from 3.
McIntosh just loses the handles, out of bounds.
She's going to challenge Brink low, and she goes down and creates problems with that. Cameron Brink is just having a whale of a game. I mean, it doesn't jump out at you because it's been a slog for her. But 25 points and 15 rebounds, and she's earned every one of them.
Brink just been so impressive, averaging just over 13 points per game on the season, just under 9 boards. Closing in on her career high here.
Dimitri, absolutely picture perfect, outstanding post defense. Can't do it any better.
Dimitri, the 6'3" sophomore.
So you miss 2 free throws and you turn it over. Possessions are precious the last 2 minutes of a ball game.
Apollo is looking for the entry pass. Jones, shot clock at 4. Jones drives the baseline, and how did she get that in?
Because she's Haley Jones. That's why. She knows where she is, she knows what the time is, and she knows how to find a way.
Jones, a tough shooting night, 2 for 13 from the floor before that make. Comes up with the answer. Stanford now with a 2-point lead. McIntosh, acrobatic drive, falls to the floor. Shot won't fall. Brink with the board.
Stanford will not be in a hurry. Spread the floor.
Under a minute to go. Stanford just holding on to that 2-point lead. Apollo with time. Tara with the timeout. Stanford coach Tara Vanderveer calling the timeout as the Card look to hold on. And how impressive is Haley Jones coming up with the answer to give the Card that lead. 37 to go here in the 4th quarter. It's Stanford leading Cal by 2. And we have the makings for another classic here inside a Haas Pavilion as Stanford holds just a 2-point lead with 37 to go.
And we all know Cal needs to stop.
Cal needs to stop. The fans making their voices heard. Brink shot. Stanford almost comes up with the O-board. Curry rips it away from Hannah Jump, and Cal calls the timeout. 25 seconds to go. Cal basketball. 2 points to make up to tie this ball game right back up.
Brink with the shot, the miss. It looked like Hannah Jump had secured it, but just ripping it away. Combination of Peanut, Jada Curry, and just knowing time and situation, call the timeout right away. Don't put the ball on the floor. There's the game reset. Stanford's got a foul to give.
Stanford's got a foul to give. Cal now with a chance to tie this ball game up again.
Tie or take the lead. Martine takes the three. Curry takes the three. McIntosh takes the three.
McIntosh leading the way for Cal with 19 points. 7 for 13 from the floor. She's gotten to the line 4 times. 4 O boards as well.
Stanford's only lost this year to #1 South Carolina in overtime. It's a game that South Carolina just took that game away in the 4th quarter.
Cal's going to have to come up with a basket here. The Golden Bears have not scored in the last 3:43. They get the timeout, though, to reset. What will they run?
Stanford's got their 5 on the floor. Cal's breaking their huddle. And this is all you can ask for. Possession and the opportunity to tie or take the lead.
Stanford with Lopolo, Jones, Dimitri stays on the floor, Brink, and Jump. Cal's Claudia Longarita, the USF transfer in the game for the Golden Bears along with their starters.
She can hit the 3, Curry can hit the 3, Martine, McIntosh.
Curry to Martine, 17 to go. Longarita wide open from the key, no. Cal battles for the O board. That will go the other way, ball for Stanford.
You draw it up, you want an open shot. Cal got their open shot. Swing it. Longarita's is going to come to the high post. She didn't want to take that one. Dimitri came across to help. Had a good look at it. Sherman Smith wanted to travel and Brink.
Now let's take a look at our jockey difference maker, none other than Stanford forward Cameron Brink.
Look, this wasn't Cameron Brink running the floor, getting layups, shooting and making threes. This is hard-nosed, get down and get funky. Cameron Brink. Yeah, that's a spike right there.
Brink with 25 points, tying her season high, just 1 basket short of her career high, also pulling in 16 boards. And you can see she is just fired up.
Just world-class compete. That's just an elite level. What does your team need? She has delivered, especially in this second half. No bonus because that's just the second team foul against Cal, and that's where it really works against you.
Stanford now off the inbounds, just under 11 to go. Holding on to that 2-point lead. Jones to Dimitri. McIntosh fouls quickly.
Second half goes off.
Just under 8.5 to go now.
For Stanford. Pass and catch. Be secure. For Cal, disrupt. Make something happen. See if you can get a steal. A scoring drive for Cal. 4 minutes.
The intensity palpable here inside of Haas. Just under 8.5 to go. Brink gets it in the backcourt, is fouled.
And you think back to that South Carolina game when Stanford did not get the ball inbounded on the sideline and got the 5-second call.
4th team foul on Cal.
And right now, Stanford's just running every out-of-bounds play they have. Tara calling timeout.
Dutelle called on that last one. Stanford will have to inbounds it once again. Stanford coach Tara Vanderveer calling the timeout to regroup. With 7.5 to go. Stanford with the 2-point lead. Who do you get the ball to on this?
I just think they're looking for an open person. and then you're just waiting for contact.
For Cal, Leilani McIntosh, just another outstanding performance against their rivals. She was excellent back in December when these two teams met, and once again today.
Playing like an all Pac-12 player. Whatever you need, an assist, attack mode, playing with confidence, defending. I mean, she has challenged Haley every time she's tried to do something. She's been right there meeting her at half court. Great decision there. Haley Jones just doesn't quite get around that screen, and you can see the bench for Cal.
McIntosh now on the bench. Ortiz in the game for the Golden Bears. Dimitri gets it in the backcourt. Ortiz gets the foul with just under 5.5 to go.
And that's where just not being in the bonus can work against you. You can play a foul-free quarter, and then down the stretch when you need the ball to score.
Send Dimitri to the line.
5 seconds gone. Trying to get to the bonus.
Dimitri 4 for 4 from the line on the season. Make that 5 for 5.
Her first points, but you can feel the trust Tara Vanderveer has had in her. She's defended, she's rebounded.
Dimitri sinks both. Stanford now with a 4-point lead. Timeout now on the floor as Cal's going to have to come up with something to get a quick bucket.
Yeah, they're going to need a 4-point play. Do you take the 3 and then hope somebody fouls you, lean in and try to draw some contact? You go for a quick 2 and then try to foul immediately? Cal has 1 timeout left. Stanford has 1 timeout as well. But you can see the bench for Cal. That is not the energy we saw earlier. It is tough to go 4 minutes and not score at the most important time of a ball game and beat a team like Stanford.
Curry, McIntosh, Tele, Lucha, Shipful, and Martin, the starters for Cal, back on the floor as they need to get something quickly. Dimitri stays in for Stanford, along with the card starters.
It really is just the quickest shot you can come up with. Just find it.
McIntosh to Curry. Curry throws one up. Too strong as the final buzzer expires. Stanford pulls off a hard-fought victory, 60-56 over Cal. But boy, did these Golden Bears make it tough.
It was an outstanding effort by Cal, losing to the number 2 team in the country by just 4 points. But again, that 4-minute drought just sunk the Golden Bears.
4-minute drought in the 4th quarter of a close game, just really tough to overcome. Cameron Brink also outstanding and tough to stop for Stanford. 25 points, 17 rebounds, 3 blocks. She was just coming out with a vengeance in that second half. Leilani McIntosh, though, with an excellent effort for Cal. Steph Curry smiling as he just witnessed something spectacular in this game. It was a hard-fought game.
It certainly was. And both these teams will take it on the road and play the LA schools. It doesn't get any easier in the Pac-12 conference, but Cal is coming of age.
Cal and Stanford now head down south, taking on USC and UCLA. Stanford remains undefeated in Pac-12 action, improving to 4-0. And for all of our crew here at the Pac-12 Networks, on behalf of Mary Murphy, I'm Kylan Mills. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
What a day of women's hoops. Stanford survives. Cameron Brink is fired up. I'm just as fired up. Oh my goodness. Welcome to the post-game show. Angela Taylor, Jordan Liggins Robinson. Wow.
What a day.
What a day. What a day. Stanford survives, but Cal was there till the very last second.
So much to be proud of if you are a Cal fan or on the Cal team. They played so hard. They were in that game. Mm-hmm. Right. That is going to make Stanford a better team, but certainly is something for Cal to hang their hat on. and to continue to improve over the course of the season. And who knows, this is a special group of players.
Yes, well, let's see how Stanford did it. Steph Curry got a front row seat to a great one. There was another Curry in the gym. We'll talk about her later. This is the 99th time these teams have met up. Cameron Brink was a force, but so was Leilani McIntosh. She passes it for Martine for 3. That put Cal on a 7-0 run. And then here we have Hannah jump to Cameron Brink for 3. She finished with 25 points. She was amazing.
She was filling it up from all ends, and they needed it in the second half.
Here's Jada Curry, number 30, watching number 30. That looks great to me. Inside, Stanford, almost a travel. It was a little bit of a debate, but Hannah Jump makes them pay for the no call for 3. Leilani McIntosh is so crafty.
Such a tough jumper over someone that was bigger than you were. Such a fantastic finish.
But this layup by Cameron Brink
got them going.
Got them going. Tied game. Haley Jones with a go-ahead tough bucket inside. That put Stanford up by 2. Cal has a chance here. Leilani McIntosh, wide open layup. She passes it for a free throw line jumper. And it was no good.
They were trying to go for the win right there.
Oh, man, but it was a wide open layup. You don't get a better look than that. Stanford wins 60-56. Haley Jones, a double-double, 12 points, 11 rebounds. What an amazing game. Were you having some flashbacks there, Angela?
Ooh, a flashback to the 1990-91 team where I believe we got stuck on the Bay Bridge on our way over to Haas Pavilion, and we ended up losing to a feisty Cal team.
Wow, there's nothing like playing in that gym. And Stanford, they were 8 for 31 in that first half. What changed in the momentum that second half?
One of the things that changed was that Tara went in at halftime and she let the players know that she was not happy with their effort. It wasn't about missing shots or not getting good shots. It was simply about effort. And when you come back and you play with effort, you start to be able to pull out these games. And Cameron Brink is the player that put her imprint on this game. 25 points, 17 rebounds on the game. She had 18 points in that second half. She was not going to let Stanford lose, and you saw it in that last clip. She knew that she had to play big-time basketball.
Yeah, and for Cal, if you're Sharman Smith, you have to be very, very proud of your team. I wasn't guessing that this Cal team was going to have number 2 Stanford on the ropes, not looking like themselves at all. How did they do it?
Well, first and foremost, credit to Cal. You know, there are no moral victories in women's basketball, and that's not something that the players are looking for. But they can go back and look at this tape and see a lot of positives. They had the others. We talked about Stanford's depth and versatility. Cal displayed their depth as well, and they had a lot of players, including Jada Curry, step up and put their imprint on this particular game. But their defensive effort, starting in that first half, was fantastic. They made it difficult for Stanford, and Stanford struggles against teams that defend the paint and that put a lot of pressure on you defensively because they can attack, their guards can attack the paint.
Wow, well, you talked about Cameron Brink. She had 25 points. Kyla Mills and Mary Murphy caught up with her after the game.
Time now for our Zayo Connection. Joining us now is Stanford forward Cameron Brink. Cam, 25 points, 17 rebounds, your 22nd career double-double. How did you kick it into an extra gear in that second half?
I don't know, I just put it on for my teammates. We worked really hard, and Cal had a really good game, so it was a hard game, but it was a good game.
You know, Cam, we've seen you play a lot of games. I don't know if I've ever seen you play this tough. There was nothing pretty about this ball game. It was all just about you guys and your teammates just really responding in a tough-minded way.
Yeah, you know, I think it was a really physical game. You know, I was getting a lot of hits. But, you know, I think I did a good job of finishing through contact. And, you know, it's just a really hard game. I'm gassed right now.
You tell you're out of breath. Now, your team started out really slow shooting from the floor. What were the conversations like to keep you guys going and just keep battling in this game?
Yeah, you know, we have some really amazing shooters, so I just kept telling them, keep shooting. You know, I have the most confidence in all of them. So, And, you know, if they miss, I'll get an O board and put it back up. So it was just about, you know, persevering and being resilient.
You know, Cam, one of the things that I just have to compliment you, you never lost your composure. As physical as it did get, the doubles and the triples, you never sort of responded or retaliated like you would in the past and maybe spent time on the bench.
Yeah.
How did you center yourself and bring yourself to that point?
You know, there was this one part of the game where Haley was like, you know, we need to take over, and I think, you know, that really, you know, showed me that, you know, we do. So I think I just, you know, focused and got it done.
Sure. And you had a special guest in attendance here who got to watch this outstanding performance. What was it like having Steph in the building for this?
It was cool. I didn't know he was coming. I thought he was, but, you know, it was cool to see him and my godmother, Sonia. So, you know, they're really important to me. So, you know, just really special for me.
It doesn't get any easier. Guys go on the road, and when you wear Stanford on your jersey, you always get everybody's best effort. So it's UCLA and USC up next. When do you start rolling on? I know classes start tomorrow. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, super ready. Ready to be studious.
What does this win do, though, for you guys as a group moving forward into another tough test, this time on the road?
Yeah, like you said, I think it just shows us that we have a really big target on our backs, and we're going to get team's very best. So just continue to get better every day as a team and working hard.
All right, Cameron Brink, thanks so much, and congratulations on an outstanding performance.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Cameron Brink said she was gassed. So am I. I'm just tired just watching her. Big games coming up for Stanford. Hopefully they can shake off this shooting slump. Number 12 UCLA on Friday. It does not get any easier in the Pac-12.
Top to bottom, the best conference in women's basketball, and playing these teams on the road is only going to get difficult